shit.
All
I don't
right,
have time for this, man.
perfect. Okay, we're live on YouTube, and now we're gonna be live on TikTok. Boom, there we go. Perfect. Get ready, bro. Oh shit, yeah, I gotta change the stream. My fault. There you go. Welcome in. If you're coming into the live, make sure you're just double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you want to come up onto the live, all I ask is you are above the age of 18 and have an argument for why God exists. And if you can bring that, then we can have a good faith, linear, progressive, fruitful, dialectical
Hey, who
discourse
is the guy
together.
in Jace? Are you live? My bad.
Yeah, I'm live on every.
It's nice to see all the friendly faces here. If you're just tuning in, make sure to keep on double tapping, comment, share, and follow all the hosts, including me. I'm gonna get up there in a bit. Hold up. Bro, who was the guy that said he disproved atheism?
Welcome in, welcome in. If you want to come up onto the live, I only have a few stipulations. You have to be above the age of 18. That's just TikTok's terms of service. And you must have an argument for why God exists. If you can bring that, then we can have a good dialectical discourse together.
Wait, who was that guy that said he could disprove atheism?
I don't know.
J server?
What do you mean?
You DM'd me like 2 hours ago.
Oh yeah, that guy. Nah, I could barely tune in for a little bit. He was cutting in and out, but he was like he was a Phil bro. But
Was his name Reference Point?
Yep.
Oh, he's like, no one takes him seriously. He's a joke. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, make sure to keep on double tapping. Make sure to follow all the hosts and do all that good stuff. And you want to debate, come on up.
We're looking for an argument for why God exists. We're really lonely up here. If God is a factual thing, then why does it require faith first? Real, bro, real. Who is this, bro? Who are you inviting?
Bro, he wanted to, bro. I tried getting him in the VC, but he was like, he keeps dodging me. Also, we have another co-host.
Is he friend or foe?
Friend. You have another co-host here, Tripic. Yay! Give it up for Tripic. Say hi, Tripic. Introduce yourself, brother.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tripic. Still meaning atheism today, if anyone's gonna come up. But putting in low tier shit like why does it require faith when faith, the root word is pistis, is kind of a weak argument that I don't know. Go strengthen that somehow, man. It's a ridiculous thing to say.
Tripic's here to talk shit to all the atheists. You talk shit to me and Tripic. If things get too bad. But here to talk shit to all the like low elo theists here. Yeah. Low tier theists on here.
So
What
Jeremiah,
if God is consciousness embedded? Yeah, this is gonna be like some pantheist account. It's gonna be super trivial to what we see as God because we don't see things like consciousness inherently to have some type of not some type of agency. But let's let the first guest up in here. Up away.
Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Trying to get the live out there.
Wait, so
hey,
we're trying to prove that. 15.
Oh,
my fault.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
My fault.
You have to be above
you
the
have to
age
be
of 18.
We're sorry. Yeah, maybe in
You gotta
3
be
years.
above the line to come on the ride, man.
Yeah, real.
Sorry, maybe in 3 years you can come on up. Super sorry. You sound like a nice guy though. Prove my invisible garage dragon doesn't exist.
Yeah, literally.
Your awareness and consciousness. No, not necessarily, no, because consciousness is just gonna be like being aware of your surroundings, right? That's how consciousness is, like being aware of X, right? If you mean sentience, I just take sentience to be like some type of first person subjective experience, and same with the mind. Oh, let's let the other guys step on up.
Hey, how old are you?
38.
Okay, and do you have an
Perfect. Let's
argument for
be-
why God exists?
Yeah, best argument for theism being true. Hello?
Any day now.
Any day now, what?
Where
Free
you
to
give
give
the argument.
Entropy.
What about entropy?
entropy.
What do you mean, what about it?
Okay, how are we
What
getting?
are you saying?
Are you saying right now? You're saying entropy, therefore God. So you got to kind of elaborate more. Tell me.
Yeah,
your argument.
wait. We can
Well, do you
put
know
this
what
in
entropy
psychotropy.
is?
Yes.
Yeah, we know what entropy
What is
is.
it? Define it.
The tendency of things to go from order to disorder.
Very good.
Yeah,
Now,
so
what's the second law of thermodynamics?
Entropy in a closed system.
What is the second law of thermodynamics?
Entropy in a closed system.
No, it is that
Wait.
energy cannot be
What
created
the
nor
fuck you
destroyed.
mean? No.
hey, wait,
No, that's not what that means.
Do you want? How much you want to bet?
What do you mean? How much do you want to bet? How are you going to prove me wrong?
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna give you the definition of what the second
Are
law
you
of
going to do that from
thermodynamics.
the encyclopedia from Stanford University?
Let's see.
Are you going to go on to the philosophy department of Stanford University and get the
bro,
definition?
buddy, you do not know about the SCP, bro.
Do I not know about what?
You have not read anything from the SCP. I promise.
I've never read any. You're telling me I've never read anything from Stanford
Yes.
University Encyclopedia of Philosophy.
Yes, I have high pride. I have like high seemings of you like being absolutely like restarted, right? So like because of that, it's probably gonna be the case that you haven't read anything.
I've never read anything from the Stanford.
Yeah, you
University
probably haven't.
Encyclopedia.
Yeah, that's gonna be the claim, right? And
Really?
it's gonna
Okay.
be like
Okay,
justified
prove-
via
prove
my
that.
phenomenal
Prove
conservatism.
it negative.
Yeah, so premise one, if I have
Prove it
seemings of
negative.
you. Wait, holy fucking! Can you please stop spurging?
Holy
Thank you.
fucking shit! Shut the fuck
Well, yeah,
up.
I know. Right? You're like horrible, right? You're like super pathetic. Okay, now that you're done chimping,
Okay, I'm
premise
super
one.
pathetic.
Oh
You're
my
the
god,
one that
can
can't define
so you can stop
entropy.
chimping so I can give my argument, nihilist? Can we like mute him real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, now that we have the muzzle and the dog, premise one, if I have seemings if I have seemings that you're like super restarted, then
Hey,
you
what-
probably never read the Encyclopedia of Philosophy from Stanford. You can just plug in the modus ponens from there.
You're telling me
That's my argument,
Encyclopedia of Philosophy from Stanford University.
buddy.
You're
buddy.
telling me that I've never read that.
Yeah, you
Then how do I
probably
know
never
about you,
read
little
it.
bitch?
Hey, dumb fuck!
do
I
I
already
know
gave you
about
the
you, little
agreement. Do you
bitch?
remember? Hey, dumb fuck!
ahead.
Do you remember the agreement I gave you?
What agreement was that?
Holy fucking shit! You're so
Go
lost.
suck a dick, you little bitch.
I don't think you genuinely look good right now. This is so fucking pathetic. I'm sorry that you're like a demented fucking patient. You don't even know what the fuck the argument was for why you probably never read the SCP a day in your entire life. And I get it. You're like philosophically like jackrabbaiting yourself. You're intellectually like jackrabbaiting yourself. But you genuinely look horrible right now. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to repeat my argument back to me. Go ahead. You're spurring.
All right, we're gonna take this goofball down. Let's bring up
Perfect.
someone hopefully with more coherency this time.
Double tapping. Hopefully the audio didn't cut off for any of you lovely people out there.
No, I muted him so you could do it. Don't worry.
Perfect. Yeah. Also, let the next guest back up. Perfect. Yay.
Perfect.
Yay.
Yeah, you guys are going to need to do more than just assume that we're going to assume your argument because you say one sentence. You actually have to form the argument.
P therefore Q. Oh, thank you, LeBron, for the rose. Thank you.
Yo, LeBron. Holy fuck, LeBron James is in my guest request box.
Hi, G. What's his name?
Hello.
God.
How old are-
19.
Yo, hello. Yeah. Wait. When were you born?
08.
What?
What?
Okay. Take him down, bro. Oh, it's
You were
crazy.
bringing LeBron up.
Alright.
Yo,
You could have said
Yo,
like.
how old are you,
06.
LeBron?
I'm 20.
Okay. And what's gonna
Okay,
be the
perfect.
argument for why God exists?
Well, if you read in the scriptures, it says it right there. I don't know why.
Wait, perfect.
Yeah.
Whenever we read scripture, we're already presupposing that God exists, right? So when
Yeah.
God is the thing in question, and the scripture is going to be backed up from God, obviously, scripture isn't going to prove X to us, right? Because that's kind of begging the question.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah.
So you agree?
No. Oh my bad, my bad. No. I thought you were telling me something. So
That
I'm
was-
just saying like if you do if you read the Bible and you can clearly say it clearly says like Jesus existed and all that, and there has been like
It's presupposing. Well, here's the thing: we're atheists. Like, we don't believe the Bible is true either, right? So, like, you're presupposing the Bible to be true, and the reason why Christians think the Bible is true is because they think that God is true, right? So, without God, the Bible like literally like has like no like value at all. It's not valuable to anybody unless there is a God, and because we don't believe a God, it's not going to be valuable to us.
So you're all science guy? Is that what you're saying? Like you think the
We're philosophy and science guys.
what do you mean philosophy? Like Buddhism or something?
Oh no, what?
Do you say
It just means
Buddhism?
it just
Is
means
Buddhism
that we like the
philosophy?
6 branches of philosophy. No, we just like the 6 branches of philosophy.
Wait,
No, but
so
Buddhism
yeah.
is it's a religion.
Oh, okay. I thought it was philosophy. Anyway, um, so if you go to like let's say I guess Europe or something and go to like if you go to like churches, you'll feel the energy, right? You'll feel you'll you can get knowledge on God and stuff. Might help you guys. I don't know if you're
Yeah,
born into this or
I've been to multiple churches, like a plethora of different occasions. And like I still don't feel the energy of God. Um, so what now?
have you ever started like praying or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, just hold that faith. I don't know why. I don't know how'd you start praying and just stop.
Yeah.
Why would I pray
Um.
something that doesn't exist?
Wait. Yeah. Wait. So when I was younger, right? Like I believe in God. I'd pray to God. And like now I don't believe in God. Like even after all the prayer and all of that, like I still like don't have like the necessary like evidence or proof to believe in a God. And like off of faith, I just can't base things off of faith because off of faith, I could believe like in a flying unicorn that like poops candy, right? Or like off of faith, I could believe like poison is actually like a soda that I can drink, right? Like off of faith, we can do like a bunch of things. Um, as a completely unhinged.
So you want only scientific answers or facts?
No, they can be like philosophical arguments, right? Like I like whenever like I don't think we can prove God like via like our physical ways. I think we have to give like some kind of metaphysical account of God. Um,
Well, it did say like the witnesses of Jesus. They did see Jesus do some miracles that the normal human cannot do, and you need to be a
yeah,
superhuman to do them.
we don't believe in miracles, but even if we did give you the miracles, I don't know why we just like can't say that like Jesus is like some alien or like some wizard. That was just like performing tricks because he thought it'd be a funny prank and like said he was God because he thought it'd be a funny prank. I don't see what like would be the problem in that either. So you have like two different problems here.
What do you mean? There were witnesses that saw him grow up because they
Yeah,
thought he was probably God.
yeah. So either so one like the Bible's written anonymously, so like we have like no reason allowed to like believe the witnesses, and like number two, we could just hold to like, Jesus being some type of alien, like just like messing with everyone that looks like human, like kind of like Superman, you know.
What do you think about religions like Hinduism that are just full of science and like no?
I like Hinduism. I'm pretty fond of every like pantheist religion, and because the Hindus are like pantheists, I'm pretty fond of them. I'm like more sympathetic to that than like the Abrahamics.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure Hinduism just ancient sciences or whatever. So I guess you would like that. Wait, so you're not Hindu?
No.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Um, let me know. Do you think? What do you think about Islam? When'd you
Don't
rule
take it
that?
seriously.
You don't take it seriously?
Yeah, it's a big
Cognitively
fat
impaired.
joke. Yeah, we actually have a tier list of every religion. Just like don't mind the Hinduism and the Buddhism. Those are like trolls for our friend. But I don't know if Nihilus can like hop it up on the screen.
Yeah, I
Maybe
got
he
you.
can.
Yeah, he's gonna
But we
see.
actually like have a ranking of like of a lot like theist accounts.
That's
Um,
cool.
and Islam's like cognitively impaired. That's how little like we take it seriously.
Uh,
All right. What's at the
You see
top?
Islam.
yeah, so
Um,
I don't know if you can see that, but we can move it around a little bit.
Okay.
Soft atheism. So it's kind of like agnostic atheism, where like you believe that God could exist, but you don't believe he does exist.
Okay.
But you see Islam isn't cognitively impaired. But now that we showed the tier list, I think we can take it off. But is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Alright.
I think we're gonna have to bring you down. It was nice talking to you, man. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for
Alright,
coming
you
up.
too.
We'll bring up the next guest now.
Yep. Make sure to keep on double tapping. Make sure to like. Make sure
Yo,
to
can I-
share and follow everybody. And with that, let's bring up the next guest. How old are you?
Yeah. Just so you know, we can't hear you if you're away from the app.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
How old are you?
Cool. 33.
Okay, and what's going to be the argument for why God
Uh,
exists?
so I'm not a philosophy guy. It's more of just like a syllogism. And then if you guys want to, in good faith, just follow it along. And then I'll just see whatever your answer is. You may not come to God. Premise one is like, would you agree that concepts require a mind?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, is this tag?
Well, just follow it along. How about that?
Well, okay, we're just gonna require
So would you just
a
follow
mind.
along?
I am full. I'm writing it down for like future
Okay.
reference. It's like saying entire syllogism. Don't worry about it.
Cool. So concepts require a mind. Premise one, you agree. Premise two is that we cannot create absolute concepts. Would you agree with that?
I don't know what you mean by absolute concepts.
An absolute concept would be like something that we inherently all are tied into, something like logic, love, ethics.
I don't think we're
Concepts that
tied into.
are.
I don't think we're tied into these things inherently.
You don't think we're tied into logic?
No,
You
I
don't
don't
think
think
we use
logic to
logic?
be. I don't think we're. I don't. I'm not a realist when it comes to logic. I think we only use the logic of like when it comes to like reasoning things out.
So you
But
only
we don't
use
always.
logic? When do you
When it
not
comes
use
to
logic?
whenever you use natural language.
So when you use natural language, you're not using logic?
No, obviously not.
Can you explain? So that's incoherent. It doesn't make any sense. So can you explain that? Because that's
Oh
retarded.
yeah, so oh wait, perfect. Yeah. So when I say hi, how are you? We're not using a type of logic. We're not using like a type of logic system, right? I just like don't think you know what logic is.
You're not
Like,
using. No, really. Okay, so you're not using basic logic to form a sentence to
wait,
be coherent.
hold it. What do you mean by basic logic? What kind of logic are we using?
I
Like we're
mean,
using propositional logic.
can you the three any type of logic you want to use? You're not using any logic when you're just forming a sentence. Is that what you're saying?
No. When we're using natural language, that doesn't entail some sort of logic system. If you could name one logic system that entails natural language,
So the three
I'd be very
natural, so
impressed.
laws of non-contradiction. So if you were to make a sentence,
God,
how would that
classical
sentence
logic
make?
only. Classical logic only applies to certain systems of logic. Like, how do you respond to Dialetheus? How do you respond to like some type of fuzzy logic where we don't accept all like the three classical laws of logic? And I agree that
Okay,
we use it for
can
like
you
propositions.
okay? So can you show me an example of how you wouldn't use classical logic or any
Hi,
type of
how
logic?
are you? Hi, how are you?
I'm
What did
good.
you
How are
just say?
you, Mr.
How would
John
I even?
Crawford?
Three.
How would I even?
What's
You
the
guys are so.
conversation?
Come
How
on,
are
this
we?
is super.
Look
This is
at the
super
screen
low
share.
IQ. This is
No,
really
you
low IQ.
you have
This
no
is
idea.
really-
Can you name one logic system, buddy? Name one logic system.
Dude,
Name
how
one
would
logic
I-
system.
How are you
You
even
ain't
making
name
an
one logic
argument?
system.
How are you even making an
I'm
argument?
not making an
when
argument.
you're
You're making
saying-
an argument.
But you're making an
Oh.
argument. You don't use logic, dude.
Buddy, this is
You're
like the
making an
worst
argument.
version of Tag I've ever heard.
We're mute. Holy fucking shit, you didn't even check. I said we don't use logic whenever we speak in natural language, right? Natural
So what are
language
you
is
using?
some
So
type
what are
of
you using?
proposition logic. Whenever
Okay, so
we
what are you using?
reason things
Okay,
out,
all
whenever
right.
we use reason, logic just has to
Okay.
do with is a field of study that has to do with reasoning.
This
And reasoning has to do
is a
with
first.
inferences.
This is the first low IQ atheist I've ever.
Yeah,
This
wait,
is
you know what?
this
Just
is
finish your syllogism,
no.
buddy.
This is
Finish your
great, dude. This
syllogism.
is great.
Finish your
Okay, so
syllogism.
so if you don't agree with that, so the concept of truth, would you agree that
Just
that's
give
a
us the
concept?
premises. Just give us the premises.
So you
Is he
cannot
doing a
create.
tag argument?
So you can't
No.
create absolute truth. You can't create
Just give
absolute
the
concepts.
premises.
You can't have a
Right?
posteriori truth. I don't even know what you mean by truth. By truth, you mean according to reality. That isn't going to be a concept. I believe that the word is going to be a concept, but it's still going to exist. Like even if there were no minds, right? It's like absolutely like insane.
Exactly. So you can create absolute
Holy
concepts.
fucking shit! Wait, can you repeat what I just said? I don't think you tracked what I just said.
No, you blabbering. You just said a bunch of words.
Yeah.
That's it. Hold on. Do you guys believe in absolute truth?
No, do you want to just give the syllogisms to your argument?
Do you believe
If and only
absolute truth?
if and only if it's a priori, not a posteriori.
Okay. All right. So premise
Even
3
like
is an absolute
analytics.
mind. Awesome. Okay. An absolute mind is required outside of time, outside of space.
Absolute mind is okay. And what's the conclusion? God exists,
That's it.
right? That's a conclusion. Oh yeah,
One
perfect.
absolute
What's
mind.
inference rule? What's inference rule?
What?
Yeah, what's inference rule?
I'm not a philosopher guy, so go ahead.
Well,
Tell
yeah,
me what that means.
Yeah, okay, cool. So for everyone wondering, right? The conclusion doesn't necessarily entail the premises, right? And this guy tried calling me low IQ while not knowing anything about logic, right?
You are
He
low
doesn't
IQ if you don't
the
think you use
process.
logic.
Okay,
Dude.
what the fuck is
How would
inference
I
rule
even
then?
understand what you're saying? I'm
Inference rules?
asking you that. I don't need to know.
Exponents,
You're glitching.
exponent,
Dude,
simplification,
you're spazzing out. You're
addition,
spazzing out. You're
disjunctive
spazzing.
syllogism. Like,
You're
tell me what kind
spazzing.
of
You're
inference we're
spazzing.
using.
Can
And
you-
if not, I
You're
can just
spazzing.
arguments is gonna be
You're
unsound, you
spazzing.
monkey.
You're
you-
spazzing.
Can you
dude.
define
You're
logic?
spazzing.
Define logic.
You're spazzing.
No, I'm
No,
not.
I
You
just
just
so some a basic
Do you want to just
law
like
of
define what logic
non-contradiction.
is?
Things do not
Hey
contradict.
monkey,
So
hey
A
monkey,
is
do you think it's an inference
Dude,
rule? Hey
you're
dumb
spazzing.
you think
You're
it's an inference rule?
spazzing.
Yes or no?
You're
You think it's an
spazzing.
inference rule?
Dude.
Yes or no?
Relax.
Dumb fuck, this
Relax.
is
You're spazzing.
do you think it's an
You're
inference rule? Yes or
spazzing
no?
now. Hey,
Is that an
hey,
inference
I
rule? Yes
asked
or
you
no?
what that. I asked you what that. Dude, I didn't waste my money going
Hey,
to
can you real quick?
college.
So I like stop clipping?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know you went to college. Like your teacher didn't teach you shit. You obviously didn't go to logic classes, right? What the fuck inference rule are you using? What kind of inference rule are you using? Go to the Wikipedia of inference rules and tell us which one you're using. And if your inference rule doesn't have one, which is what I'm saying, your argument is going to be
This is what
invalid.
happens with
I can
atheists.
prove this right now. I can prove
The
this right now.
meta commentary is
This
not
is
going
what
to save you.
happens.
So
This is
like,
what
Wait.
happens.
define what logic is.
This is. I already said it. Law of non-contradiction. So
No,
A equals
that's
A.
an no, that's a print. That's a
Holy fuck. Name one piece of literature. One piece of literature says has logic, monkey.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
yeah. Can
There
you
you
provide?
go,
Yeah,
dude.
can you
Sure,
provide a
piece of
source for
You're
this definition?
spazzing, dude. You're spazzing, dude.
Do you-
No, you don't know basic terms. This is pathetic. Dude, Jay, think you look
You-
remotely good right now.
You
You
don't
look
believe
like
in.
a positive
You don't use
substance.
logic to even make the sentence, though. According to
No,
my
I'm
logic,
saying-
you're agreeing with me.
Wait. Do you know the difference between natural language and like
Dude, you're
propositional
spazzing.
language?
You're using
Your
a double
microphone is
negation, bro.
spazzing.
God doesn't not exist.
You're spazzing, dude.
No, yeah,
Relax.
because you
Inference rule,
understand basic logic.
Take a
That's
Tom.
the
You're
inference rule, bro.
spazzing out.
God doesn't not exist.
Hey, listen, dumb fuck. Are you going to give the inference rule or not? Wait, Nihilus. Wait, can you open that? Can you open that?
Ran.
Live? Oh wait, okay, perfect. For everyone in the chat right now, I want Nihilus to open this up.
Yeah, baby, just give me a second.
Okay, hold up. Okay, wait. Let me show you what he said. Right? No, yeah. Obviously, I'm like shaking in rage. Right? Oh yeah, you got it. When someone makes like loud noises at you, obviously they're gonna be angry, right? Obviously they're angry. And I hate it when like these when these people are like, oh yeah, you don't know anything about logic, can't account for basic things like inference rules. It's like entry level stuff in logic. If you read like an intro to logic book, you would get this, right? So we're gonna go down this for everyone in the chat. Hey, okay, so put capital P. You know, I'll just write it out. Actually, I'll just write it out. PQR, therefore, PQR, therefore S. And that's what he said. Hold up, if you could put that into that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see if the argument's formally valid. We're gonna see if the argument's logical. Let's show this. This shows argument off. Oh wow! Oh, it's almost like he gave a non sequitur. It's almost like it's not formally valid. It's almost like the argument is illogical. Wow.
Holy fucking shit.
I gotta be right back. Avery, if you could take over for me, as like second co-host. It's nice having you up here though. Yeah, just for a little
I should
bit.
join your TikTok.
Oh yeah. It's hold up, Nihilus, send him your TikTok so you can hop up in the
Put in
guest record.
Discord. I'll join.
Yeah, bet. But yeah, as we all just saw that, he couldn't give an actual argument, but instead he started like gibbering about about how he's like philosophically illiterate and how he doesn't know like what words actually are in philosophy. It's like super pathetic.
That was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. But if you're watching the live, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that fantastic stuff. And if you want to come up onto the live, I only have a few rules. Number one, you have to be above the age of 18. That's TikTok's terms of service. And number two, you have to have an argument for why God exists. If you can bring that, then we can have a good faith dialectical discourse together. And we got someone in the guest request box, so we'll bring him up now.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, man? How old are you?
Do you know that God actually exists?
How old are you? Sorry.
I'm 18.
Okay. Sorry. And what's the argument for why God exists?
Because how are we gonna have the earth without a God?
Okay. So are you saying that like it's not possible for the earth to exist without God?
Huh?
I said, are you saying that it's not possible for the earth to exist without a God?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me
Do
the
you know
argument
about
for
the
that?
cat theory?
No. Just give me the argument for that.
I don't know how to get to this stream.
Have you heard about the cat theory? It's like the
There
earth
we go.
is like the cat is wrapped around like the earth.
Dude, I'm not here to listen to fucking conspiracy theories. Just give me your argument
No,
for God.
it's not a conspiracy theory.
It is a
because
conspiracy
I
theory.
think it's actually true. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy
You
theory.
need to
dumb
have an
fuck.
open mind to my
Yeah,
suggestion.
an open mind that a cat is circling, a giant
No,
cat
it's
is
a
around the
cat
earth.
Listen, can you go outside at night and look at the stars in the sky and you're gonna see it's gonna be like it's actually the cat's eyes.
I think
And
that
then
you
that's-
need
that's
to
how the
go
Earth
and
is
check
made.
yourself into the nearest mental health institution.
You know the head of the cat is actually it's in Asia, and then the tail of the
I
cat
think
somewhere in
that
North
you
America.
might be
You know,
inebriated.
hold on, let me talk. You know the equator lines? You know the equator lines? That's actually the cat's tail. So
No, it's the equator line isn't like an actual line.
no,
It's not
no,
like a
no,
real
but it's the
line in
cat's
like the
tail.
ground.
It's like a theoretical situation.
No,
But
so
that's
what?
why
It's not.
God
It's like
exists.
what is this? Like a metaphysical cat?
Yeah, it's like metaphysical.
So
It's not actually physical. It's like it's like
And
it's
why
like
do-
in a different galaxy, but it actually it's wrapped around the Earth as its homing planet. So
And then, like, why would I want to believe this? Like, what's the evidence of this?
no, just look up into the sky and like just look at the stars, and you're gonna see it's its eyes.
I don't
So-
want to hear like your bong rip conspiracy theories right now, right?
It's not a conspiracy. All right,
Now,
listen.
What I'm looking for,
So,
right?
you know,
what
like the-
I'm
you
looking
know the
for,
Big Bang
right?
Theory?
What I'm looking for, right, is the
Yeah.
evidence that God exists. So,
Yeah, but
can
listen,
you give me the
I have proof that
argument
God
for why
exists,
God
though.
exists? Yeah, let's hear it. What's the argument?
So what God are you talking about? Because God can be said in multiple things. So like God as in a creator of the earth.
Okay, so are you defining God as the creator of the earth?
Yeah. But do you know who the God is?
I
though?
mean, I would like I usually like the way that I'm defining God right now, right, is just like it'd probably be a bodiless mind that created everything.
yeah, it's
Like, would you
it's
accept that
supposed to be
definition?
The cat.
The cat, dude. What the, dude? I don't want to hear the
really stuck on
conspiracy
this
theory.
cat.
I don't know.
It's not conspiracy. That's how
Do
I'm
not
going
bring
to
this
prove
cat
it.
up around
It's a
Schrodinger. He
cat.
will not
It's
be
the
happy.
metaphysical cat that created the universe.
Put him in a box.
He might be happy. I don't know.
Oh, what I miss?
Bro, this guy's telling us that there's the equator line is part of a cat's tail. There's a metaphysical cat surrounding the earth.
What the fuck is the argument for that?
I don't. He's not giving it. He's just
It's-
going
no,
on this
it's
schizo ramble.
It's kind of just like it's the head
It's
is in Asia,
self-evident, bro.
and the tail, like the equator line, is
You think that was a question? You think that was a
metaphysical
goddamn
cat,
question?
so-
Yes or no?
Bro, he
Huh?
got this knowledge a priori. Don't
Was
worry
that
about
the
it.
question? Yes or no? Do you have did that answer the question that I asked? Yes or no?
What's the question?
What's going to be the argument for some metaphysical cat surrounding the Earth in the equator? What's going to be the argument for that?
It's metaphysical.
Argument?
So just look up in the
Hey, dumb
sky.
fuck.
and
Hey, dumb fuck.
Ah.
Hey, dumb fuck. Hey, can you tell us what
This is a
metaphysical
look-
means?
I've never heard a look at the stars argument. This is new.
Wait, could you
Just look at
define
the stars
metaphysical
and
for
you
us?
see, it's
Okay,
its
bring him down. He's
eyes.
trolling. He's
I've
trolling.
heard
He's
the
trolling. Bring him
stars
down.
argument, just not for this.
All right, let's
Ivory.
bring this next guy up. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Make sure you're dropping a follow to the
Shut
other
up.
guys on the panel
You.
too.
Shiba, how old are you?
Wow.
Wait, will
How
TikTok
are you-
tell me
oh.
off if I smoke
Me?
a bong?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 17,
And
buddy.
maybe mute.
Bring it up, bring it up. Oh, my God, bring it up.
Wait,
Speak.
how old is
Bring
he?
that 15, bro. Bring him down. What are you doing?
I
You're
couldn't hear because you're yelling. Chill the fuck out, bro.
He's 15. What the fuck?
You need to turn your gain down low, bro.
You hear me? You hear me scream minor? What the fuck do you think that means? You
I
think I'm
couldn't
speaking
hear
about?
what you were screaming because he was talking too and you were clipping. God fucking shit.
Buddy's
Holy
deaf. He has like dementia. He like needs to like get rid of the fucking hearing aids.
Big Rich, get the fuck back out of my guest
What's
request.
dementia again?
I'm not bringing you back up. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, especially if they're a theist. Hey, Watch Clips, how old are you?
How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay,
Bro,
bro.
what?
Oh my fuck! I got all these people in my guest request and they all can't come up. You guys have to get out of here. Not allowed
Hey,
up.
listen.
Oh, it's crazy.
This is 18 plus. I don't know what to tell you.
Watch Clips, I just kicked you out. You're not coming up.
Anyways, but yeah, as we all saw earlier, that fucking tag guy couldn't even give a formally valid argument, and like he's like, oh, logic this, logic that. He doesn't even know what logic is.
Yeah, like you can make the tag argument as long as you know a little bit about what you're talking about.
No, not even. Like
Big-
tag always fails.
Big
I talk
Rich,
to people who argue tag all the time. They never know what the fuck they're talking about. Never ever. Tag isn't formally valid. Like they can never formalize
Yeah,
it.
well, most
Big
people
Rich,
that present the
listen.
tag argument are just reading off like a script.
I've seen Dark talking. No, like unironically, every single person that knows tag, even Jay Dyer, they have no idea what they're talking about. None at all.
Okay, listen, Big Rich, if you have an argument, I will let you up. But
Bro,
I
no,
want-
he's like a minor.
no, we
Oh,
know
wait, no,
Big
that's
Rich is not a minor. But listen,
Okay.
all I want you to say is I'm going to ask for the argument. I want you to give me the premises that lead to the logical conclusion, and then we can talk. Okay?
So
That's
is it
what I'm
just me
asking
or
for.
is Nihilus? Is it just me or is Nihilus's mic like doubled up? Probably just
Oh,
me.
it
No.
might be. I don't know. Unless it's coming from like, because you're connected on. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, actually, I don't know why. That's weird. Is my mic coming up doubled up?
Yeah, it is still like we can still hear you though, so it's not too bad.
Weird. Okay, we'll bring Rich up again.
Big Rich, you have an
Oh, well,
actual
TikTok
argument for
would get
thesis
mad
being
if I
true.
smoked
Yes, I do. I do actually have an
No.
argument for this.
All right,
claim.
premise one is
So
what?
as you know, I do believe the cat is God, and
love
I
that.
do have an argument for this. Ready for
Premise
it?
one. Premise one. What is it?
Don't please don't laugh at my
Just
my
give
claim.
give the
because
premises.
It's not a joke.
Premise one.
Hey, dumb fuck. You're not giving premise one. How about you stop running away and actually give an argument for things I'm being true? Go ahead.
I have an argument. Just let me talk.
ahead.
Let me talk.
Premise
you're laughing
one.
and you're...
Go ahead.
All right. So do you know how? Do you have a cat at home?
No argument. Premise one is what?
Do you take a question to be an argument, you dumb fuck?
Or do you have a cat at home? Asking
Hey,
a
dumb
question.
No,
fuck.
you
Hey,
don't.
dumb fuck. No, that isn't an argument. Question isn't an argument, dumb fuck. We said argument, not question.
Listen, you gotta let me talk.
No, you gotta give the
No.
argument.
We don't have to. We have to let you do
okay, so
anything.
you have
You're a
cat at
bitch.
home. Okay.
Hey,
Now, if
dumb
you
fuck.
have
You
a
take
cat
this
at
argument.
home, you will see. Hey, shut up!
Hey, dumb fuck. You take this.
That was not
cat-
rhetorical
a cat
at all.
Does not serve
Hey,
a human.
Asperger's.
human-
You have an
cat-
argument for things I'm being
world
true.
revolves around the cat, and this is why whenever you go out in the
What
sky,
the
look
fuck's
at
going
the
on
sky,
with these people?
you'll see
They're like
the
ushering
stars.
with a fucking brain cell.
Don't think they. Yeah, I don't
Get
think
the
they're
neurons to
actually.
flare up.
I don't think
Get
they're
the one
real.
neuron to flare up. Get the one neuron to
Listen,
flare up and
that's
give an
why you have a
argument
cat.
without being true.
Okay, listen,
Care
listen,
about the rules.
okay, listen.
The cat
Big
is like
Rich.
a theoretical sigma male.
Listen, I'm not gonna listen to this, okay? Listen, I want your premises for your argument. So I'm gonna ask you again. What is premise one? You can unmute.
All right.
Premise one.
Premise one is that I can't, like so obviously it created the earth, but a cat
Bro.
does not care
Just
about
bring
the
him down, bro.
humans.
Just bring him down, bro. He's a troll.
No,
He's
no,
always
don't bring it
trolling.
down. I have it. No,
There's
I
no one
have
else
it.
in the
I'm
guest
giving you my
request.
premise.
Bro, he doesn't even have
But
an
you're not letting me
argument, bro.
talk.
He's trying to give it
Dude.
now.
Okay, perfect.
He's about to
No,
blow
no,
your
no.
mind, and
Just
you guys
let-
keep
okay,
interrupting
you're not letting me
him.
talk.
Do not
Tis.
do not critique him. Just let him give the whole argument. Okay, so premise 1 is a cat. What?
It does not. The world will revolve around the cat because like if you have a cat, you obviously know it doesn't listen to rules like a dog does. It doesn't submit, and a cat it revolves around the world. So the god of this like world, which would be the cat, it like pretty much like it pretty much like created cats as its own little like thing. So that's like one piece of proof. You understand what I'm saying?
Listen,
What's P2?
what I asked for was your premises.
Why do you have a
And,
soundboard?
and
You think
no,
you're
not
Sigma?
only did
You think
I
you're Cat
not
God?
only did I not get the premises, I got whatever schizo incoherent ramble you just fucking gave.
Hey, retard.
And unfortunately, I stopped typing after half of it. And I'm gonna
Retard.
ask you one more time to provide the premises that lead to the logical conclusion that there is a metaphysical cat around the world. And if you don't do that, I'm gonna boot you the fuck out of my live. Okay, now give the argument.
TBH Talon seems to want to go on.
A metaphysical god.
Yeah, we're getting you out of here, buddy. We're
Yeah.
gonna,
Oh, I'm sorry. This guy ended up lagging out, and like I think there's like 2 minors that keep coming up.
There's just 2
like-
fucking minors. Get out of my guest request. I'm gonna have to block you if you come back up again. Oh no. Okay, I gotta find you. I gotta figure out how to block you.
Why don't you just, bro? Watch clips. You're 17. You're not getting in, bro. You're gonna get blocked, and you're gonna get booted off the live because you're a literal baby. You're a baby, like you're a toddler. Like I'm surprised you haven't been aborted yet.
Are you sure?
Yeah, bro. Avery, how have you been though?
I've been okay. I've been a bit of a lazy fuck. How are you?
Oh, dude, I've been doing good. I've been doing
Hey,
these
Razor
lives,
Sphinx
and,
just
like,
showed up.
yesterday we had like the best. We had the best live. Yeah, we had all
No,
the
we
friends
did not.
up.
Shut the
We had all the friends up.
Yeah, it was kind of a fucking
We
dog
were getting
food,
like
bro.
flexed on.
Yeah, fuck yeah, that yeah, fuck. You're
Ba-ba-da.
okay, I'm gonna
This guy- He said he was 17. He's not 19. Why the fuck did not let him back up?
How old are you, Sheba?
Bro, what the fuck?
I just said I'm 19. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
what year were you born?
What are you talking about?
I was born in 1999, buddy.
Okay.
Bro, get him down, bro. I don't know why the fuck you let him back up after you said he was 17.
I just wanted to see if he was serious or not.
Bro, how would L bounce? You're gonna get
What's
the
up,
live ban.
Caesar?
It's cooked.
Siho, Cjo, whatever.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
So
How have you been?
What's up, bro?
Been alright. I'm getting Popeye soon, so I'm only gonna be here for a little bit. But
That's okay. What do you believe in, Cjo?
Oh, he's on
I
our
believe in
team.
a lot of things. I mean, you know.
Dude, he's just
I
my
believe
son.
I'm
Don't worry.
scared
He's my
to-
son. Don't worry about him.
Okay. Wait, John, what do you believe in?
In what regard? Are we talking about metaphysics, epistemology, ethics?
No, I mean like with like John. Like, what does John believe?
Oh, my
me.
bad.
He's used to me.
Yeah. Do you also believe in things?
Just like in regards to religion, I don't have any belief in any god or gods.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Me neither. Good
if
talk.
you're watching the live, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Let's try to get some more people in my guest request instead of this fucking minor.
Watch Me Clip says, "Let me in."
Yeah, he's 7. He's underage.
Oh, he said he's 18.
He's lying, bro. Okay, I'm gonna.
Rest in peace. What's up, Watch Clips? You got any proof for God?
Wait. How old are
So, I'm 18.
you? Okay.
Yeah, no
What
way.
year were you born?
2007.
And you're 19.
No, 18, not 19.
Yeah. Wait, what? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you dumb
No.
fuck. You would be
Aren't-
14.
What? No.
You're fucking dumb. Wait, no, he'd be 17. Sorry, my fault. All right, here we go. We got someone else.
Hello,
Hey, how old are you?
20.
Okay, and what's going to be the argument for why God exists?
God doesn't exist, buddy.
Then why are you up here?
Because I got something to say. Can I say it to people?
It depends what it is.
It's very important. It won't like it will basically delete everyone talking shit.
All right, let's hear it.
Like, your God isn't real, okay? So all you guys that believe in religion down there, it's to divide you, okay? And your government is behind it. There you go, buddy.
Okay, well.
That was quite advanced.
What the fuck? Yeah, swear to God, these people are not real. Like. Oh, hey, what's up, bro? I just saw you pop up. But yeah, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing with your friends, and make sure you're only requesting up if you believe in a God. Don't really want to talk to other atheists. But if you do want to request back or request up, you have to be above the age of 18. That's just TikTok's terms of service, and you have to have an argument for why God exists. If you can bring that, I think we can have a good faith, linear, progressive, fruitful, dialectical discourse together. This is so fucking boring. I'm
I'd
not
rather
bringing you
have-
up watch clips. You're fucking. You got cooked. You're done.
Wait, Nihilus. When I'm able to bring up guests in a few days, would you be down to like co-host with me sometime?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
All right, bet.
It depends on the day and time.
Yeah, it's gonna be like on your schedule, bro. Cause I'm down.
Abiogenesis isn't possible. A creator must exist. PhD in structural biochemistry here.
CJ, what time zone are you in?
CST. But let me respond to Dr. Brett. Have you seen the study in 2020? It's called Emergence of Self-Replicating Molecules Containing Nucleobases and something else. So we've demonstrated like naturally occurring amino acids turning into self-replicating molecules. I don't see how abiogenesis could be ruled out, especially with this finding. So it's going to be a response.
I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. Why are you here? Think about that. That's very deep. I think I'm Christian.
Yeah, I guess maybe our parents, but just a lucky guess, you know.
Yeah, for real. Where are all the Christians? Come on, guys. This is sad.
Why would anything matter if a book didn't tell me it mattered?
I know, right?
Prove he doesn't? I don't know.
I can
Low
prove.
tier,
I could prove he doesn't exist. You want to come on up?
depending on the definition.
Yeah, it depends on what you're defining as God, but oh, it's always these people that don't have live access that always talk shit in my fucking comments.
Yeah. And Mr. PhD in structural biochemistry kind of shut up. So guess he doesn't have anything to say.
Fucking they're dumb, bro.
That whole PhD, all for nothing.
Is he saying that abiogenesis? Yeah.
He
Okay.
doesn't even have a PhD in a field that would allow him to make that claim.
Yeah. Why would I give a fuck about what you say, little bro? Go back to fucking school. Go get what is it? What's the field called? Fuck.
We take the side of evolution in spite of the patent absurdity of its constructions.
Oh, wisdom teeth? What do you say to that?
tailbones.
Yeah,
Appendix.
like a trend with higher melanin content, like depending on the geographic area, like if it has higher UV rays or not, stuff like
I
that.
swear we recently decided that appendixes did actually have a use. I swear. Hang on. Let me
Yeah,
Google that.
it was for like digesting tree bark.
Yeah, one that didn't, where it didn't just fucking blow up inside you and almost kill you.
Yeah.
And also we've literally observed speciation with E. coli.
Oh, what was it? I can't remember, but there was someone on Ian's live the other
Speciation
day.
of birds.
I think it was Scientific Snitch, and she was like talking about how like there's like a muscle in our forearms that's like slowly getting disappeared. It's like the one that like flexes when you like grip. There's another one too, by the way, Dr. Brett.
Oh, the one that helped us climb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many examples of evolution. It's crazy. It's like being a flat earther in 2025. It's the equivalent of being an evolution denier.
Yeah. But if you're watching the live, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. We got to get a guest up here sometime soon. If not, we're going to have to end it, and it's going to be boring and sad. But if you want to come on up, you just have to be above the age of 18 and have an argument for why God exists. Pretty simple.
You must then assemble them into hundreds of proteins in the correct sequence. Well, all you would need is like a sequence that's valid for a few proteins, and then you could use that as a starting point to get to more complicated sets of proteins. Like, it's not like someone's thrown a giant roll of like 6 dice and they're hoping that it lands on 6 sixes. It's very much a different mechanism than that.
You must then assemble them into, yeah. All right, I'm gonna bring this guy up now. Hey,
Hello?
what's up? How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, and do you have an argument for why God exists?
Well, am I allowed to use the Bible or no?
Well, you're gonna have to prove that the Bible is true if you want to cite the Bible.
I'll try and use the Bible first, but if you don't believe me in that, I'll try without using the Bible. Is that cool?
Well,
We're telling you right now we're not going to believe you in that because we don't
Okay.
have any reason to believe in the Bible. So you would need to start with that first.
All right, I got you. So the Bible, right? It
Right
consists
back.
of what? All right, so you want me to wait for bro?
Go for it, man.
I'm gonna just wait for him. Is that cool?
I mean, honestly, I'd be willing to hear it. I'd say I'm like decently well versed in the Bible. Like, what do you think of the Bible?
Okay, I got you. So basically, right, like the Bible, it's consisted of like thousands of pages, right? Well, like the normal Bible, the one I have is 1,200 pages, right? And
Okay.
it's how many different books? I forgot.
66.
Yeah, there's 66 different books, right? It's written across 3 different continents and 3 different.
listen, okay, I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude, but I have heard this like spiel before. So,
Yeah.
like, what I want to know is like, what evidence proves that the Bible is true, or an argument, or something like that.
Okay, I got an argument. Try and put 66 people in the same room that have 3 different languages, Greek, Hebrew, and the other one, and then
That's a false
like-
analogy. I'm going to tell you why it's a false analogy. It's a false analogy because these things were all written in succession to each other. So it's perfectly plausible that these people could formulate a story that could last a long time, considering that it was an internal story, like to the religion and the nation at the time. So it's perfectly coherent for me to like conclude that it's more that they did in fact just write these in succession rather than it was divinely inspired. So like that's not really gonna do anything.
But what's it called? Many of the books are like thousands of years apart. Like some of them
No,
are.
they're not.
like,
The entire time frame I think is like 700 years of when the Bible was written. So
Well, what's it called? The Bible is written from before Jesus Christ was born. What we believe is
No,
what God is, and then there's part that is
no.
after.
The Bible,
Old
the
Testament
Bible
and the
was
New Testament.
The Bible is written over 1,500 years.
Yeah, 1,500 years.
So yeah, that's
So
completely
how could
plausible.
they have been written in succession if it's over 1,500 years?
Because it was written inside the nation of Israel and Judea, and so it's going to be preserved by the religion because they're holy texts.
Yeah.
Like it's 100% plausible. It's almost expected.
Right. And even if we were like, all this is evidence for is that, okay, these guys really cared about, you know, the book they were making. That doesn't link to their God actually being real. Okay.
There's a link to their God actually being
nothing. Look,
Okay.
guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but nothing about the Bible was written. Nothing Bible related or the Bible was written until at least a few years after Jesus died.
Yeah,
Guys,
so
correct
if
me
you're
if I'm
referring to the Gospels, so the Gospels were written about 40 years after Jesus' death is when they start, and I think John's Gospel is written at 110 AD, so he's the earliest, like, to us. Paul's letters were written around, I believe, 40 AD and 60 AD, or unless he might have started he started his ministry in 60 AD, or 60 to 68 AD, I believe. So yeah, that's when like the New Testament would have been written, and John would have written Revelation like around, I think, like 70 AD or around the same time he wrote his gospel.
Dang, I'm
Fair
surprised
enough.
you know
But
that.
I
You read
think
the Bible?
all of this,
Yeah, I've read
all
it
of
a
this is
lot.
kind of beside the point. Like, if any of your points have to do with how old it is, then we could simply point to any
Oh
other
no, I
religion.
wasn't trying to base my argument off of how old it is, but I forgot, it's like thousands of connections across all of these books. The Bible
Yeah,
proves
wait.
itself and it keeps proving
What
itself.
about what about like the Quran and like the Hadiths?
Well, that's like a different religion. That's Islam.
Yeah,
Well,
but it's
well,
still written
wait,
over a long amount of time, and they all follow the same like
wait,
succession from each other.
Thousands of
wait,
connections.
Well,
Matthew.
I'm not
wait,
very
wait,
versed when it comes to
wait,
Islam.
wait. You can't just throw away like a whole different belief system because it's not your belief system. You have a problem now. Do we accept Islam or Christianity given the amount of cross references they have? How do we distinguish whether or not we pick, given they both have a large cross references?
And their book
Huh?
was given to Muhammad from God, and the Bible was supposedly inspired by God. So if we're talking about explanatory power, I'm going to say that if we're presupposing this God is real, if God just gave them the book, I'm going to say that I would believe that more than someone claiming that God divinely inspired them writing it.
Trying to like talk to each other.
But if you can answer the question, I'd really appreciate it. Because these people, they were allowed to. I don't know why they were about to like let you get away with it.
Yeah, this argument might convince like a congregation like during church, but in a debate, it holds literally no value.
I don't know why didn't you guys that's the first thing I thought of. I don't know what was
Are you
going
saying
on.
that I brought up what's it called, Islam?
No, I want you.
No. What you're saying is that what gives the Bible credence is the amount of cross references in between the New Testament and the Old Testament. But we're saying there's a lot of cross references between the Quran and the Hadith, right? So how do we distinguish which one? Like, how do we distinguish which religion to pick between these two? Because they both have like a big amount of cross references. How do we distinguish that?
Well, what's it called? Well, honestly, I don't know much about Islamic, and I don't want to disrespect the religion or anything, right? So, like, I wouldn't be able to like fully answer that question because I don't really talk about like Islam.
So it's not really like the Islam isn't like the main focus, right? Like the point is that like if you're trying to make the argument that like because they're like all like in succession to each other and they have cross references relating to each other over a long period of time, therefore it must be true. I'm just saying that there are other religions that have the same thing. So like you would have to either affirm that as being evidence for their religion, or at least their holy books being true, or it's not enough evidence.
So
yeah.
What you're yeah, hold on. You can talk.
All right, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. You can talk.
I was just gonna say like the same thing. I was just gonna repeat myself just to like be crystal clear.
Okay, you got it.
Oh yeah, perfect. So, again, cross references don't hold any credence because we can just point to any other religion with the same amount or more cross references, and then we can distinguish whether the religion you hold is true or not, right? Um, that's why it doesn't hold like any weight at all.
But
Oh,
I
yeah.
do have someone else in my guest request box. So do you have anything else or a different argument?
I got one more argument, but it's probably one you already heard. It's
Sure.
like with the Big Bang Theory. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. What's the argument?
Like scientifically, right? Matter can neither be created nor destroyed, right?
Sure.
No, but like that's a scientific rule.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we haven't seen that happen. Yeah.
What's it called? So like with the Big Bang Theory, it goes against science in that
No.
way.
Why?
Because
No, it
Let me
doesn't.
tell you why.
because
tell you
the
why.
universe
Because-
couldn't have come from nothing.
No.
Yeah,
The Big
the
Bang.
universe is eternal. It didn't come from nothing. It's eternal.
Wait, Kevin, hold on. The Big Bang does not model the beginning of the universe necessarily. That's a common like science communication misconception. All it models is a point in the universe's history in which it was condensed and it expanded. Before then, we don't know. We don't know if there was a history behind it or if it's eternal. But we can't just definitively say that the Big Bang was the beginning because there's no evidence for that. That's,
Okay.
Yeah, so
then
this
I won't use
isn't
the
a
Big
problem
Bang.
for the Big Bang Theory because the Big Bang Theory doesn't make that claim. However, on the theological side of things, what do you think God made the universe out of?
Well, obviously he would have had to made the universe out of nothing. He's just a higher power, so he would have had to.
But
made it.
matter energy can be
So,
created nor
but I
destroyed.
thought
From a non-theological standpoint, how would the universe be created
It's
without
gonna be
God?
eternal. It's not gonna be created. It's eternal. I already told you this. It's gonna be eternal.
But do
If
you
it's
see what?
but you
eternal,
told us
hold on.
that our
If
position
it's
was
eternal, then
contradictory
how would the
because
universe have
couldn't have
started?
been created for
How?
nothing
How am
from
I?
nothing.
Yeah. Wait.
And then
So
I
under
asked
B.
you,
Wait, so like
oh,
I just want to
Let
clarify,
Avery speak. Let Avery
TBH.
speak. Let
Like,
Avery speak.
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
no, I'm
yeah.
trying
So
to get him to
you,
respond to Avery.
yeah.
Okay,
So
wait,
you
wait. I
told
don't know
us,
who's
you
who.
told us that the universe as the Big Bang might have conceived, couldn't have been that way because it couldn't have come from nothing. We explained why that wasn't the claim, and then we asked, so where does your universe come from? And then you just said plainly it came from nothing, and you didn't have any problem with that.
No,
Why?
it came from God. God made
Yeah,
the
but you said God made it with nothing.
well. So in my religion, God is a higher power, right? He's divine. So he has the power to make anything. So he made it.
Okay, wait. Hold up. So, can he make logical contradictions then?
Like what?
Like, can he make like a squared circle?
And God created a rock so heavy that he himself cannot lift. That's what
Oh,
we
wait.
mean when we speak of logical
I've heard that, I've heard
contradictions.
that. Like when can you do something that contradicts himself? Where it's like, if God can make a rock so heavy that he can't lift it.
Yeah.
Can God bowl so hard he goes broke?
Well, God doesn't follow like physical logic, right? He doesn't follow the logic of us. We're humans.
Okay, wait. So,
That's
okay,
why-
right. So,
Okay,
can God?
Then can God create a rock so heavy that he himself cannot lift? Then can God do that?
Well, he can because he doesn't have to
What?
Okay,
follow.
well then your God's nonsensical. Your God's illogical.
Wait, no, perfect. Wait,
God
no,
is
this is
illogical.
perfect. No, wait, not this. Wait, hold up. Wait, can God make himself stop existing?
That's low key a good one, but God make
You
himself
want to
stop.
answer it?
Hold on, let me think.
I
Let
just
me think.
yes or no, dude.
That's low key.
They're all
Come on,
good
guys.
ones. They're all good ones. You're just not comprehending. Like if God could make a
Answer. Here's answer.
all right.
I'm thinking. Can God make himself?
Yeah, can God off himself basically?
No amount of thinking.
You guys just like proof himself as existing. I'm sorry, but no, like I'm out deliberating while I get you out of this.
Or wait, no, sorry. Yeah, pandeists. When
No, I'm not talking about pandeism though. Like, did God just make himself like go proof? Like, can God make himself like go
no, I
proof?
know. I was.
He
Let,
made
let
him.
me let me think about it.
Yeah. Don't think too hard.
I'm sure
because
if I
like
think about it long enough, I'll come to the correct yes or no answer.
Okay.
Anyways,
what I came up with, what I got. All right, so I'm thinking. God doesn't have to follow our logic, right? Because he's a divine power. He can do whatever. So if it doesn't make sense to us logically, right? Since God is at a higher power, he's divine, then he can do it. So
perfect.
Yes, he could.
Wait, how do you know that God still exists then? How do you know that God still exists then?
What's
I
it
didn't know
called?
anything of that.
Okay, I don't. Okay, everyone in our faith, well, it's faith, right? Everyone in our religion doesn't have hard evidence. We have evidence that points to the belief of a god, to the what's it called? What's the word? To there being a god, right?
Yeah,
But it's
What's the evidence?
our religion is based off of faith. We have
but here's the
okay.
thing, right?
What's up?
Faith is like ultimately like unjustified, right? Faith is gonna be unjustified to like anyone trying to convince anyone, even yourself, right? Because what you're giving is some like incoherent position. It's like the flat earthers saying like, oh yeah, I believe the flat earth is flat because I believe the earth is flat because I have faith in it. That's not gonna give like any type of weight at all. And if it's gonna be the case that like we can't know whether or not God exists and God can make himself like stop existing, we have no reason to believe that God does actually exist. And like rather he like blew
So-
himself up and made himself
So-
stop existing.
So Talon,
What's up?
Talon,
What's up?
when you're deliberating between like two propositions that you don't necessarily believe in, would you like to use a method of getting to the correct conclusion that is reliable, or would you like to use a method that is unreliable?
Obviously reliable. So are you gonna use that based off of faith? Like you're gonna make an argument against faith?
That's okay. Okay, now, if you and I believe in two different things that contradict each other based off of faith, how would we deliberate between who was right and wrong?
Whichever one has more evidence.
Okay, that's great. That's perfect. Okay, so evidence is the reliable path to truth in this case, not faith, right? Because we could have used faith to choose either of those propositions. So you've told me you would like to use a method of getting to true claims that is reliable, and yet you've just told me that in choosing claims, you would like to use evidence over faith. So why do you choose faith to have this belief,
What's it called?
not other ones?
My faith comes after the evidence. Because there is evidence that points towards a God, I have faith that there is a God.
Oh, okay.
Obviously-
Well, that's not what you said before. So what is this evidence?
What is well, I was trying to give it.
Okay, go for it.
The evidence well, we already talked about it, but the evidence of how like the universe had to be made from something. Y'all's argument was that the universe is eternal, but the universe had to start somewhere. Like it
Why? Okay, wait. What? You have to give an argument for that because you're just asserting that.
because how could the universe just be eternal? Like
Well, how could your God be eternal?
That would be an argument from incredulity. Just saying, how can this be this way? I don't understand it. Doesn't say anything about the truth of the claim, right?
what do you mean?
Well, you're just saying that
So-
like you can't comprehend that the universe could be eternal. So you're asserting that it has to have started. That's an argument from incredulity, like he just said.
Yeah, and you're not even like presenting an argument. It's just you're asking a question.
Wait, what do you mean I'm not presenting an argument? I'm trying to argue that the universe had to have started somewhere.
Okay,
because
so-
you're asking a
Yeah, yeah.
question.
So what's your argument that the universe had to have started at some point?
Yes. The universe couldn't
Well-
have come from nothing. Something had to have made the universe.
Okay, well, then that's different, right? Because we never made the claim that the universe came from nothing. We're saying that the universe has always existed. It never had a beginning, right? So that's kind of a straw man of our position. But, I still want to hear the argument.
The argument on what? On how? Okay, I'll continue. So the universe couldn't have started from nothing, right? Something had to have made the universe. That's what I
Oh,
believe.
Okay, that's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be.
So what's the evidence for that?
Yeah, it's a claim.
Okay, so let me spit that right back at you. What is the evidence that the universe is
No,
eternal?
no,
because
no.
you can't prove whether
What
or
you're
not
going
the
to do
universe
is
eternal.
provide evidence for the claim that you just made. Okay?
The claim that the universe had to have started somewhere.
Yes.
You're just looking it up. You don't even know why you believe in it.
No, I'm playing the game right now. I'm actually on Roblox. While I'm
Okay.
That's fair, bro.
So do you have an argument?
also
Also,
that was my argument, but like
that the world has to either be started from nothing.
Hang on, Fanto. Hang on.
Sorry.
Hold up. That's okay. So, Talon, before we listen to this guy, do you have any argument as to why the universe, or I suppose if we want to be like
Oh wait, no,
more
sorry,
rudimentary.
Avery Fantos friendly.
Oh, okay,
I
my
was
bad.
talking about him. He's asserting a true dichotomy between basically nothing to something, or something coming from a mind. Why do I have to believe in that dichotomy? I don't think that's I think you have to substantiate that's a dichotomy. True dichotomy. You understand what I'm saying?
Wait, I already told him how we
I
don't
don't
believe
know
in that. I
the
already
word
told him how we
dichotomy
believe in
means.
like infinite universe, like eternal
I know, but
universe.
he's saying that there's or at least from what I've heard, is that it's dichotomy, right?
Okay, so a dichotomy is just basically saying there's like only two options you can pick.
Right, and so
And a
he's
false
saying that.
dichotomy is like falsely presenting two options when it indeed can be like a third or fourth or how many other options. And what we're saying is that we don't believe the universe came from nothing, right? What we're saying is that we believe that the universe could be eternal.
So okay, so you're saying, wait, so you're saying the universe is eternal. So you're saying that the universe has. Wait, that's so hard to wrap your head around because like
Has no
Yeah.
beginning or end. It's like how you say God has no beginning or end. We just apply that attribute onto the universe.
But then what was before our universe? There was no
Well,
before.
so there are different models, but I
That's
believe that
the
the leading one is the big bounce, big crunch, right? So like the model basically says that like the universe goes into these states of rapid expansion and rapid contraction. So where it goes back down to a very hot dense state. So that's what like I believe personally. I don't know about everyone else on the panel, but I believe that like before the universe, it was in the hot dense state, and then it rapidly expanded, and then eventually, whoever knows how long, it's going to rapidly contract back down to the hot dense state, and it's just going to keep repeating this.
Cyclical.
Yeah, cyclical universe.
What's a cyclical universe? Just like
literally just explained it.
well, I don't understand like how you're explaining it. Though.
Wait. So what he's saying is that the universe goes through a big bounces and big crunches, and then does that infinitely. Do you know what a big crunch is?
No, I don't. I understand the word infinity.
Can we get him a demonstration of what a big bounce and a big crunch is when it comes to expansion
bro,
and,
come over
and
to my house.
contraction?
A big a big bounce would be something like, imagine a balloon where it gets filled up fully, like right away with air, and then it starts slowly filling up, right? It starts slowly building up more air and air. It's getting bigger and bigger.
Okay.
And then the big crunch is like when the balloon gets
Deflate?
all of its air sucked out, and it gets all back down to its small state, and then it does that all over again. So it slowly builds up, and then it crunches back down, and then it bounces up again, and it rapidly expands, and then it rapidly contracts.
Rapidly expands. So like you're okay. I get your
Are you off the app?
Yeah, it just so you know, when you're off the app, we can't hear you.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My low battery thing came on. Hold on, let me put it in a charger. My bad.
No, you're good.
Basically, so like, I'm still trying to understand how y'all think that like the universe just like it's eternal, like it just came from like
Well,
it didn't even.
Well, like, do you believe that?
Do you believe
that God is eternal? Like God doesn't have a beginning or an end?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're applying that same concept, like it was said earlier. We're applying that same concept where no beginning nor no end to the universe.
But something would have had to have made the universe, is what I'm trying to say.
No, but okay, so yeah, you have to provide an argument for that because you're stating it. So that's like a conclusion to an argument. So you have to provide like a reason to believe that.
What's it called? So what about like the second law of thermodynamics?
Okay, wait. I just want to. Are we pivoting away or?
No, I'm trying to reprove.
Well, let me answer that. Let me answer that. The second law of thermodynamics does not apply if the universe is a closed system and is eternal, because no energy is going to go in, no energy is going to go out. If it's in a cycle of expanding and contracting, all that entropy, that lost entropy, is just going to get crunched down and repurposed. There's no issue I see with that. And again, I say this so many times, but in the same way that you don't have a problem with your God being eternal, we don't have a problem with the notion that the universe is. I don't know how that's so like hard to comprehend.
Well, but like the second law of thermodynamics literally says that like if the universe had always existed, it would have ran out of energy.
No, it's entropy in a closed system. So it's saying when you stop, if I believe it says this, it's that when entropy or okay, never mind. I'm gonna have to look this up because I can't remember it off the top of my head right now.
You're good.
If entropy can't escape because it's a closed system, then there's no like loss of energy except like out into space. But if it gets crunched together, that energy condenses and gets repurposed again. So the second law of thermodynamics doesn't apply, especially if the universe is eternal. It may apply at like the human scale, but at the universal scale, I don't see a good reason why it does.
Oh yeah, is the dude searching it up, or I can make another point?
You can make another point. What's your point?
All right, so like the impossibility of an infinite past. Like how can the universe have had an infinite past?
So are you asking like if the past is infinite, like how did we get to the present?
Yeah, exactly. We would have wrapped around to the present. Like
Yeah,
imagine counting backwards,
yeah,
like
present
negative
from
and
what?
then negative one, and then
Talon, Talon.
infinite -2. You'd reach now.
Talent,
Like, it
present
would wrap
from
back
what?
around
How did we reach to present from what?
from nothing. Like or from eternity. Like how are
That's
you
not a real thing. It's like there's in the same way that there's no like highest number. There's no like you can't just say infinitely far into the past.
Wait, what do you mean? If you're saying that the universe is eternal, which means it infinitely goes on forever, then it would have had to have an infinite past, which would collide with the infinite today or the infinite like future.
I don't see a reason why you
It's
should
like
think that.
it's like one big circle, right? Okay, hold on. You good if I explain it?
I mean, sure, but I guess I leave it to the more philosophically inclined people here.
So like if there's an
I can
infinite
talk about this
future,
a bit more.
because you're believing that the universe is eternal. You're believing that the universe will never stop and is never. Well, you're believing the universe has never stopped and it has never had a beginning. Then, if it's had an infinite past and it will have an infinite future, it'll have to wrap around back to
So,
itself.
so there's a few ways to address this. One of them that I learned kind of recently that I've been really into. So first of all, I don't make the claim that the universe is eternal. I don't make any claim about what came before the universe, about whether there was a before the universe. But what I will
Whoever
say,
made that claim? Who made that? Because that's what you're arguing on. Because I was.
no, I'm just saying, I'm just telling you, I'm gonna still man them, but I'm just telling you, I don't make the claim that the universe is eternal. However, I will make the claim that that is just as plausible as your God claim. Now, why is this plausible? Why can we have now with an infinite past? Well, there is this idea of time called the B theory of time or the block theory of time. And what it essentially is the idea that time in itself is not a real thing. All events kind of exist. I resist using the word simultaneously, but all events kind of exist. And as a matter of our evolution, our brains have learned to distinguish past, present, and future events for the sake of our own survival. Because, that just makes a lot of sense and that helps us configure things and sequence things. So there is this idea that time in itself is not a real thing. So to say an infinite past or an infinite future or this many years back or this many years forward, that's not real. And so we're not talking about any kind of real paradox. It's just the distinction our minds make. Now
Wait,
that's
what
one way to
paradox?
solve the problem. Pardon?
What these cells gone? My bad.
Oh, well,
What?
he was just asking. You might be better suited to answer this. So he was asking, how can we have an infinite past and like get to this present point?
Yeah, there
Basically,
is no present. Like under B theory, there's just gonna be no
yeah.
present. All moments in time are equally true. You're presupposing some time of like linear progressive, like a moment in time,
Yeah,
right?
that's
But if all
this is
moments
what I
in
just
time are all
said. So
equally true, it's just gonna be the case that like obviously you're gonna have a present, a quote unquote present. We're
yeah,
gonna pursue a present.
I just laid out B theory for him, but I said like I don't believe in it necessarily. Just like that's one way to solve the
Wait,
problem. But even
but
without it, like physicists have been able to model this idea of like an infinite past, and it hasn't. Physicists, hang on, let me correct myself. There has been cosmological models based off of an infinite past, and they don't have any problems. So you can take this problem up with cosmologists. It's all very plausible, which means we don't have any reason to accept your belief over any other belief, like the B theory of time.
But also, I would ask, I would ask, if let's grant that this problem is a real problem, wouldn't that same thing apply to your God? If God's like past existed infinitely, how did he get to the state where he is now in the present, and like created the earth and everything? Like that would apply to you. as well.
Yeah.
I believe.
I'd say a bit of this comes from, like, with all due respect, a bit of a lack of imagination. Like, if you can imagine a problem with our idea of infinite, then you need to just take one step and try to apply it to your own belief system before asking,
Okay,
and see if
so,
it works. See what happens.
so what you're trying to ask me is to believe what you believe, and then try.
No,
Okay,
no,
then.
that's not what I'm asking. No, what I'm asking is to provide a reason to take your belief over, for example, my friend's beliefs here that the universe has an infinite past. Why would I accept this proposition?
Well, because like theirs has a paradox. Like it can't happen.
No, I already explained to you that it's not
Also,
paradoxical if
there,
B theory is true, for example.
there's also like no like there's no like from infinitely far into the past. It's just like how there's no
Also,
highest number, so it seems like super like trivial to say under like the
T-
infinitist point of view.
yeah, there's some other ways to solve it. For example, TBH Talon, you could sit up, you could stand up and walk from one end of your room to the other, and there is an infinite amount of points you could draw in between those two spaces, and yet you still somehow manage to reach the other side of your room. How? Can you tell me?
Wait, what are you trying to ask? Like, what type of analogy is that? You're asking me if I stand at one point in my room, put a dot on the
Yeah,
floor.
so if you walk from one side of your room to the other, there is an infinite amount of points between that I can draw, right? There is an infinite amount of spaces between that point and the other point of your room. So how did you get to the other side of your room?
There can't. There.
Yes, there is. There's you can mathematically graph an infinite amount of spaces. It's because of the nature of numbers, bro. Like, oh my goodness, like, sorry, it's just frustrating that you can't understand this.
Wait, is Fanto talking to me or to y'all?
You.
To you.
You.
So
What
you're
is
asking,
P.
I
Marsden
get
here?
from one. Is there a finite amount of numbers between 1.257 and 1,275.525?
no,
Yeah, I
there
think
would
there's
be
like
an
7.
amount of numbers.
Right?
Because you could just keep going, right?
Wait, hold on. Who's talking?
Me.
Okay, sorry. So that is a question that you could answer, right? But like, so if you're trying to sit there and say, oh, there's an infinite amount of numbers, right, in a mathematical, like, in between space, right? Then when we use like decimal points or whatever, then how come that exists in reality? Like, would you say that exists in reality?
That what exists in reality?
That I can graph the amount of, so if I walked 5 meters, right? That is like technically a construct that we've created, right? Called meters, which is like a standard in which we all agree upon. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
y'all
new
are
to
from the
this
US. Y'all
concept.
use meters.
Sorry.
Hold on, Talon. I'm new to this concept as well. Is what you're trying to say, Fanto, is that what Talon is doing is he's conflating a human construct and trying to apply it to reality?
Essentially.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so what was your question?
Basically, what you're doing, right, is you're taking this construct that we've created to make sense of the world, right? And you're saying, oh, well, see, it doesn't make sense in reality, therefore this construct isn't real, right? But we agree, right? Like time, like that's all you're saying is like, oh, well, the infinite time doesn't make sense, so therefore it's not real. And it's like, cool, yeah, maybe time isn't real as we understand it in A theory. You get it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I mean, I kind of get
I've
it.
already given accounts for A theory as well. Like there's like no infinitely like far into the past, just like how there's no higher number. So just to say that's like super trivial.
Yeah, I laid this out just before
There's no
you got here,
paradox because
but
the way
Yeah. So even under A theory, so I have no problem. Like unironically, if I drop A theory because it's gonna be obviously true. Like all the science points to it, all the every physicist is like gonna agree with A theory, right? And like your only thing you'll lose when you drop A theory is just gonna be like successive addition arguments. Like those are ass anyway.
Yo, can you explain to me what A theory is? I've never heard of that.
A theory is just a belief that time is linear and that like we're perceiving time and like how it actually is. So how you know how like I can't like tell like 10 years into the future, and like the A theory says that 10 years into the future doesn't exist then, but like as time goes to it it does exist. And like the B theory is just saying that all moments in time are equally true. And A theory doesn't account for things like time dilation and the fact that like the closer we get to the speed of light, the closer like time basically stops.
Yeah.
And then
There's this idea that when we sequence things in a certain way, that's actually very beneficial to like reasoning and sorting out the world. So it may have been very beneficial for our brains to create this separation between past, present, and future events. Now, whether that separation is real or not, very much up for debate. But if it is real, then time isn't really anything that exists outside of our own perception. And so like all of these time-based paradoxes, they're just as not real as time.
Wait, so did you just like... We're talking about like a bunch of different stuff. I'm confused.
No, we're talking about B theory. We've stayed on topic.
No, but like there was like A theory and like you brought up that theory.
No, yeah.
So
You
A
believe
theory
in
is what
theory.
A theory is what you believe in. You believe that time moves in a linear fashion.
Okay, yeah. Because like I believe.
Yeah. So that's all that is. That's all that is. And B theory is the idea that our brains create the illusion of a past, present, and future. It's not like a real thing that moves linearly. We separate it linearly because that's
Yeah.
beneficial to us.
And even
it makes
so,
it easier to reason and sort events out in the world.
And even so, when it comes to B theory, all the science, like all like the science in relativity, points to B theory being true instead of A theory. So if I were you, I just drop it because I think B theory is like obviously true. If you look at like any of the science, A theory doesn't account for things like time dilation, and like how it doesn't account for time dilation. I'll just say that much.
Look, I'm a dumbass. I've listened to like a few hours of people talking about B theory that know what they're talking about. Man, that shit is so hard to understand. So I still won't be like, I understand B theory enough to rule out A theory. But yeah.
Hey,
I
listen,
would
you
say
gotta
that
talk
like
to
with the way
Snowy.
relativity works, it's pretty.
The
yeah.
goat. Snowy the goat.
Paradox.
Snowy taught me everything about fill of time.
But Talon, if you don't have anything else, we do have another person in a guest request.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate y'all
Keeping
being
it.
respectful though, and not like. I remember the last dude I was just yelling at.
Hey, listen, we were yelling at him because he wasn't in good faith because he doesn't know how to have like an actual conversation. We'll
Yeah,
only
I
be
appreciate
mean
you,
if
though.
like you aren't smart. Yeah, or like if you're like disingenuous, which is what they
Have a good
they
day,
were not.
Talon. Look after yourself.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, y'all have a
Thank
good
you
day
for
too.
engaging with
Bye,
us.
love you.
All right. Just make sure when we're about to bring up the next guest. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen,
keep
sharing it
in
with
it
your
up here.
friends, and
black
with
guy.
that, we'll go to the next guest.
I showed you.
18.
Okay. What's going to be
Alright.
the argument for why God exists?
Sorry, what'd you say?
What's going to be the argument for why God exists?
I just feel like, have you ever like had a relationship with Jesus Christ before?
I'm sorry, but
Yes.
like yes, but like, do you take an
Yes.
argument to be a question?
What do you mean?
Well, I asked for an argument for why God exists, and you proceeded to ask me a question about if I had a relationship with Jesus before.
I'm just trying to get to know you before I begin my argument.
All right. I have had a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah,
Yes.
What made you turn from Christianity?
I read the Bible.
No, we're not doing this spiel, bro. No, I
But just
swear
give
every
an
Christian
argument.
does this.
We
It's
don't
not-
care about
it-
we don't care about like the survey, right? We want like substance to engage with. I'm sorry.
So
We
each of
just
our
don't care about the questions.
each of our relationships with anyone is irrelevant to the truth of your proposition. So you've made the proposition that God exists. Now provide evidence.
I mean,
And bro left. That's crazy,
Alrighty.
bro.
Make sure to keep on double tapping, follow, share with your friends, follow me. I have valid inference so I can serve my own
Oh,
stream.
keep in it.
and
Keep
so I
in
can
it's
have full
up. Oh my
control.
god. Keep in it. Welcome. You
Wait,
were,
who's
you were
keeping
talking
it?
mad shit in the chat. How old are you?
Oh, bet. How old are you? Hello?
Come off mute, bro.
Keep in it. You are.
Good.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, how old are you?
How old are you?
How old are you?
Hello, you get me?
Yeah, how old are you?
Yeah, how old are you?
18,
Okay.
When were you born? I don't believe that. When were you born?
2006.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So, what's your evidence for the idea of a god? Wait.
I think God is real. I just don't know like which religion. That's what
Yeah,
I
what's gonna
think.
be your
That's fair.
argument? What's gonna be your argument
That-
for
that-
God, though?
That's fair enough.
It's like
Then. Wait. So
something
before
something
we
had
move
to
forward,
put life on Earth. Think about it. If the Big Bang created Mars, Jupiter, all these planets,
No, I'm
and
sorry.
just
I don't
float
want to.
rocks in it.
I don't want to hear
I'm
the
trying to state my
conspiracy.
evidence. Can I lead up to my
But this isn't
point?
evidence because it's you're
I didn't
presupposing
even
that
lead
there
up
must
to
be
my
something.
point.
let's
Hold on, nah,
let's
let's
be
hear it.
calm and nice, keeping it. Before we do anything, I'll let you make your opening point. But because you say like you don't prescribe to any particular religion, I just want you to tell me, what is God?
God, shit, I don't know the definition in the dictionary specifically.
No, what is it to you? What
No,
does
I got
God
it.
mean to you?
No, I know what to ask him. Okay, we're gonna go down to a list of predicates of your possible God and tell us if you agree or disagree with. Okay, do you believe God to be all powerful?
You?
Yeah. Okay. Do you believe God to be do you believe God to be all good?
Good? What you mean by good?
All loving.
You?
Okay. Do you believe God to be all knowing?
You?
Okay, he follows classical theism. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Maybe not like the divine simplicity though. I don't know about that, but okay, perfect.
Yeah. So, what reason do you think you have to believe in this God, if any?
Because everything comes from cause and effect. Someone had to put life on Earth, and like the way humans
Yeah,
are designed,
perfect.
it's like specific. The way the brain
Yeah,
works,
yeah.
the heart
Yeah.
work, everything is
Hang on.
specific.
Hang on.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
made
yeah.
3 points. You've
No,
said
wait.
3
Let me go
things.
down the first one.
Let's just take it one by one.
If everything
take
goes through a cause and effect, how so does that mean your God also like has a cause because everything goes through a cause and effect?
I mean, shit, his cause, we probably never guess his cause because the universe been
But
around
does
for
he have a
billions of
cause?
years. You don't know his objective. Like,
But does God
he's
have
been
a
around for
cause?
billions of years.
That was a yes or no question. Does God have a cause?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Wait,
If
guys, look in the fucking chat. We need to prove nothing. You need to prepare your pathetic excuse for your life's mistakes.
You know, so,
Damn. All right,
bro,
continue.
I'm sorry. I'm inviting that fucker up.
Yeah, bro, he's talking mad shit for someone.
okay, wait, can you clip that? Wait, can someone take a screenshot of that?
Yeah, I got you.
I'm putting that on my wall. I'm gonna print it out, put it on my wall. Yeah, perfect. So if there's infinite gods telling them to create, how do we get to now? Because let's say we have like an infinite amount of snipers that go infinitely back in the past. And they tell us that and like the snipers are supposed to shoot. But a general there's like infinite generals have to command the snipers to shoot. How do we get to the general to command the sniper to shoot if there are an infinite amount of generals?
Which
You
gen?
talking to me?
Yes, you.
What'd you say?
Okay,
You
so
said a whole bunch of sniper
let me give the thought experiment. Let's say we have a sniper, and the sniper can only shoot to kill someone if there's a general, right? But this general has another general that has to give the command to give the other command to give the command to the other general to tell a sniper to shoot, and this goes back infinitely. How do we get the sniper shooting from the generals? I'm telling the sniper to shoot.
What you mean? Like, you trying to say someone's telling God what to do? You think God has a
I
God?
don't
That's
think
what
I
you're
don't
trying
think
to
this
say?
is the best way to engage with him.
No,
Yeah,
yes. That's what you said.
Probably,
You
it
said God
probably
has a
do work like
cause.
that.
You said God
I
has
know
a
there's a
cause,
God.
right? You said God has a cause, right? When you say everything
Yo.
has a cause and effect, that means God also has a cause, right?
Yeah, God probably does have a God. He probably controls this
exactly.
universe, and they control a
So
different
from that,
universe or something.
so from that, how do we get to the God creating the universe now? Just like with the analogy with the snipers and the generals, how do we get to that?
Like, what you trying to say?
Oh, do I need to restate the thought experiment?
It's just like you keep saying, like I broke it down, right? You trying to say God has a God, like that's what you're trying to say?
Yeah, but I'm saying if there's infinite gods creating each other, how do we get to like our God creating the universe? If there's an infinite amount of gods creating the universe,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
know how
saying.
many God. I know there's at least one God. I don't know how many gods, but there's one
When you
God,
say
at least
when
one
you
God
say
controlling this
everything,
universe.
when you say everything has cause and effect, you're saying that God has a cause and effect, and that God has a cause and effect, and it goes on infinitely. That's what
I'm
you're
not
saying when
saying
everything.
that. I'm saying
So
there's
everything
at
doesn't have a
least
cause and
one
effect,
God.
right?
It
Okay,
prob- I'm not. s-
your
You're
argument for God
saying
is
you're
that
trying to break down where God came from. I'm saying there is a God.
what you're
That's
saying
what you're
is
trying
that
to
what
say.
your argument is that everything has a cause and effect. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
That's what you said. That was your argument for theism. And I brought up a problem when there's infinite agents creating each other, right? Because we don't have that problem because time isn't an agent, but God is an agent.
But you gotta understand, you're asking me stuff only God would know. I'm just a believer in the God. I want to know where the fuck God came from.
It's really the guy
Only
who's talking
God know
shit.
where God came from.
Do you understand that, like, it says in big bold letters in the middle of the screen, prove God exists?
I'm saying God. There's no scientific way to prove God exists. It's
We're not
spiritual.
Okay,
Like
talking
it's
about
so
above
science.
what
do
We're
you
we
not
can
see?
talking about
So you
explain.
science.
see
We're
the
talking
big
about
bold
philosophy.
letters in the middle of the screen that
Do it
says
say
prove
prove
God
God
exists?
exists scientifically? That's what it says.
No. No.
That's
That's
not
what
what it says.
y'all
Wait,
trying to
so
say,
you can't
basically.
see the big
No.
bold letters in
We're
the middle
using
of the screen?
logic. We're using philosophy, dumb
Bro, be
Do it say
nice.
prove God exists scientifically?
No, no, no.
No. We
So
haven't
where
proved
can the
God to
Provide
evidence
exist
come
any
from?
scientifically.
evidence. Provide any evidence at all to
Can
your
it be
theory of
spiritual
God.
evidence?
No, some type of formally sound argument under logic, right? You can bring forth a logical syllogism to prove God.
So where's your logic on how humans appeared on a floating rock in the middle of
Yeah, so
space?
the
What's your
question was,
evidence?
what is your
Genesis,
evidence for the
okay? Now
existence
let's
of
go to
God?
your argument for theism being true. Go ahead.
What is theism?
God.
Theism is the belief in God. So what is your
Bro,
argument
okay.
for the
Bro,
existence of
was
God?
this really wait, what show was he talking, bro?
He was just saying that, like, evolution was impossible and God had to exist, there had to have been a creator, but he's just claiming
Bro, do you
things, he's
not know
not
about
providing evidence.
abiogenesis? Have you never read on abiogenesis?
Well, how do we know the
Definitely
Bible
not.
is real? I'm saying God is real. All this spirit religions and
Yeah,
shit,
so
all that
so
can
the
be fake,
question
but
was,
God is
I'm asking
real.
the fifth time now, how do you know that God is real?
I mean, I can go off my spiritual, but that is not scientific. I mean, that's not proven evidence.
Yeah,
I can
so
go off
any
what I've
evidence at
seen.
all? Do you have any evidence?
I mean, I'm humans on Earth floating appearing on a
Yeah,
floating
so
rock in
how
the
does
middle of
that point to
space.
the conclusion of God being true?
Because the way humans are designed specifically, they had to have an engineer or something.
What's
Like
your
that's not
evidence
just
that humans
science.
were designed?
Rocks don't just create
What's your
brains and
evidence that
hearts.
humans were designed?
Yes, they were designed by somebody. Somebody had to
Yeah, what was
specifically
your evidence
design.
that humans were designed?
The way our body is designed specifically, that's the
Yeah, so
evidence.
what's your evidence that the body is designed?
Think about it. Have you seen a rock on the side of the street with a
Yeah, so
broken
what's your evidence that the body was designed? I'm not asking you to say think about it. No. Give me the evidence that the body was
the
designed. Go.
evidence? Listen. The evidence
I'm
is
listening.
it's
Go.
designed specifically, like somebody designed it a certain way.
No.
That's
Okay,
that's
so what's
the
your evidence for
evidence.
that? I asked you
Cause
what's
think
the
about it, we're
evidence that
all
it's designed, and you said
specifically
it's
a certain way.
designed. So what's the evidence for that?
I just said it. We're specifically
No,
designed.
your evidence for it being designed was that it's designed. That's not evidence. That's circular logic. So why don't you provide evidence that
So
it's
are we
designed?
not specifically? Can you answer that? Are we not specifically
Yeah.
designed?
So So what's your evidence that we're designed? You made the claim, so now you're providing evidence for the claim.
Because think about it. There's animals. There's human. Everybody is in a certain group designed just like the rest of them.
Oh
Like,
my god.
does that make
Yeah, so
does
this is
that
the
make
eighth.
sense?
So this is the eighth time I've asked you, what's your evidence that it's designed, and you've told me the evidence is that it is designed. So what's the evidence that it's designed?
You're asking me questions only God would know, though. Like I'm just the believer, and the God is real. You're
Yeah.
asking me
So
questions only God
So
would
do
know,
you
though.
know what the big bold letters in the middle
But you're
of
not
the
asking me
screen
questions
say?
a
If you
believer
don't
would
have
know. You're
any
asking me
Dumb
evidence,
questions
then
only
fuck,
get
God
dumb
off
would
the
fuck,
know.
dumb
live.
fuck, dumb fuck. You know, when you make claims, you have to give some sort of arguments for the claims. And if
But
you
I
ask you
know
questions
from my
about the
own
claims you're
personal
making, obviously you
spiritual
should know the answers if you actually thought about it.
But I know from my own personal
The stream says, "Come in
experience.
and prove God exists." You came in
Do it
to
say
just say that He
scientifically?
exists. Okay,
Do it say
that's not how
scientifically
this
prove God
works.
is
You're
real?
actually mentally
You're not proving
stunted.
God. You're not proving God in any way. You're not proving God scientifically,
Cause y'all won't believe my own
philosophically.
personal experience, so I
Fucking, you're
gotta
not proving God
break
in
this
any
shit
type of way.
down.
You don't need to
Because
necessarily
if
bring
we
some.
believed, look, if we believed your personal experience, then then we'd have to believe other people's personal experiences. All right. Now, those
Why
people's
can't both those be
experiences
true
might
though?
contradict yours, and that's an issue, right?
All
That's
right,
an
look.
issue
Let
for
me tell my
reality.
story, and if y'all
I don't
find
know
any
if you
flaw, y'all
live
can
in
break
that.
it down.
Okay.
Y'all can't break it down because there's no scientific way to prove that God is real. So it's
We're not
just a
asking for
pointless
scientific
argument.
proof.
All
We're
right, what
asking you
prove God
for
don't exist?
we're asking for evidence or reasoning.
Tell us your experience and why you
Yo, my
misinterpreted
brain's
it.
melting, bro. This guy's like, I don't know what's wrong
Yeah,
with
we
him,
got
bro.
someone else in the guest
Yeah,
request
he
box.
he
We're
doesn't
getting
have
this.
any evidence. I think we should find someone else.
Bro, I don't know why people come up here without like knowing like anything in philosophy or like anything in like in science, and they come up here trying to prove God, bro. Like, just like read a little bit.
Reassert and reassert.
How is there not design if everyone has the same organs? Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Bro, do you not know what evolution is?
Yo,
Yeah, if you-
no, get up here. Get up here, no.
Yeah, come back up.
Come up, man.
Whoever's in the just guest request box, come back up. But if you're watching the live, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. Let's try to get the live out there to more people. And if you have an argument for God and you are above the age of 18, please request up.
Bro,
The world is
I'm
the
gonna hop
evidence.
off
Open
in a
your
bit,
eyes.
bro,
Who created
because
the
I
air
can't.
while
I
you're
just
assuming
can't.
that
I
there's
don't know what's
a
Well,
wrong with these
I'm
people.
only gonna be live for 10 more minutes anyways because I gotta
Okay.
go to work. But
Yeah.
Avery,
So dictator, you're assuming that there's a who. That's the problem.
who will give light to good and bad? Are you talking about morality?
No, he's
Morality's
the
gonna be
sun.
like morality's gonna.
He's saying God provided the sun for us. The issue is that why would he create a sun that gives us cancer? Do you have an answer to that?
Shin's like arguments saying rage bait because he's like socially awkward in real life. Ooh, who came up? Yeah, someone in the guest request.
someone in the guest request.
Let him up.
How old are you?
Brack, how old are you?
11.
Holy
Oh my
fucking
God.
shit.
Holy
Robert,
shit.
okay, maybe this guy will be more coherent. Let's hear it.
Robert, how old are you?
So he's loading. Hey Robert, how's it going? Holy
Bro,
fucking
wasn't a lot
shit.
of people saying rage bait, bro? You say rage bait. I don't know what
Hey,
rage bait is.
no. Why don't you try to join and make an argument? Or dictator. Either of y'all are welcome to join and try to make an argument because in the adult world, we make arguments for our beliefs.
And we have conversations and debates.
Yo,
Hey,
Robert.
hey Robert, how's it
how old are
going?
Robert, how old are you?
13.
Holy
God, I got
fuck!
Man,
Minus. No.
clearly in your faces, we don't have our cams on, bro.
Are you sure?
Brad doesn't want to join to debate, but does want to
Wait,
call
Brad.
us not smart. That's cute.
Brad, I'm so much smarter than you.
Oh,
like,
no.
unironically,
No's-
we could
No's
both
coming
take an IQ test, and I'd fucking blow
Let
your
me
fuck
join.
up.
I'll humble you.
Yo, no.
No way.
No, how old are you?
Yeah, what's up,
Robert, maybe when you turn 18. But as of right now, you're too young, buddy. You're too young to be allowed in the Big Kids Club.
No,
You
come
gotta
on,
set the low
request. You
kids
gotta,
scene.
you gotta select it. Come on, man.
No, Robert, bro, that's the fucking 13-year-old. Don't let the 13-year-old.
I'm talking about no.
Oh, okay.
You're off the app, bro, or you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
no.
said you guys argue about something that's in your faces. Again, you keep saying Q when you scream out your proposition. That doesn't make your proposition true. It makes you look like an idiot. Probably because you are, but you know.
Dictator, I've
The
invited
house
you
has
up
no factual-
twice now, so come on up.
I have so many arguments for God not being real. I could bring you back up and like provide you an argument, right? But I think the question is, would you be able to track the argument?
Hey, Piss and Shaft, how old are you?
Anita?
I'm 18.
Anita?
Wait,
Oh, wait, there you go.
I'm just
never mind.
wondering.
Anita? That's what it
I'm
is, Jake
wondering.
Crawford.
Wait, what's
That's what it is, Jake Crawford.
wait? So if atheism is true, what's the ground for transcendentals?
Wait. What do you mean by transcendental, Anita? What do you mean by transcendental?
It's a primitive.
Oh, primitive? Wait, I don't see it to be a primitive. I'm sorry, but that's a really unsatisfactory definition you have.
Well, if it's not it's not a definition. It's a primitive. You
I
can't
know,
define it.
right? But that's really that's really like unhelpful, super uninformative, right? So I'm sorry, but if we don't know what transcendental is, we won't be able to tell you how we ground them, right? And what's the argument for the PSR?
Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear. What's the argument for it being
See you
unhelpful?
later, CJ.
That's it's gonna be epistemically basic, of course.
Okay, justify epistemic basicness.
Oh, that's gonna be epistemically private. I don't need to justify it to you.
Wait, so it's not justified?
No, I said I don't need to justify it to you because it's gonna be epistemically private. You ape tracking her #1 for the fucking Spurg. Damn, that's sad.
This is the atheist mindset.
This is the
Like being
theist
needlessly
mindset. They never
rude.
know what they're talking about. They couldn't give me a definition.
Yeah, it's a primitive.
Yeah, again, just to be like crystal clear, right? That's gonna be super uninformative, and we won't be able to give you like some kind of account for or transcendentals.
Wait, I'll give you a list. It's gonna be things like ethics,
Okay.
logic,
Okay.
causality.
Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Keep naming ones. Come on, good boy.
Induction, the uniformity
Yeah,
of
yeah, do
nature.
it. Yeah. Keep going. I'm so close. Oh my.
That's about it.
Yeah. What do you mean by logic?
It's primitive.
What do you mean by ethics? What do you mean by ethics?
Well, you're not gonna believe this.
Primitive?
Yeah.
What do you mean by induction?
Are you sure?
What do you mean by induction?
I don't know. Wait, so
Dude, valid inference
I-
like the live. Holy.
I have an
Wait.
argument.
Yeah, what's your argument?
So every fact is possibly explained.
No.
Okay.
No.
Wait. Okay. Wait. No, wait. Keep going down your syllogism.
There's a big conjunctive contingent fact.
Okay, and the conclusion is
BCCF.
theism is true.
No, there's a couple more steps.
BCFO.
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm
comes through.
wait. Wait. So if the BCCF is possibly explained, oh, I forgot, dude.
Bro, this fucking. Anita, how have you been though?
I've been good. I just got home, so I'm gonna leave.
Okay,
I was
bye bye,
walking
Anita.
home. Okay, I love you. Bye bye.
Love you too. Bye bye, Anita. Anita, follow me back on TikTok.
Yes, this is not the account that I normally join lives on, so I'll do
Okay,
it on my
follow-
other account.
Okay.
Wait, how do I leave?
Oh wait, I can kick you off. Hold on.
This is an issue every single.
Oh, okay, we got Anita.
Not all facts are plausibly explained. I can't explain it though.
Well, Anita was making a true argument for PSR.
But if you're watching the live, make sure you're double tapping on that
Yep.
screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. And if you want to come up onto the live, I only have a few stipulations. Number one, you have to be above the age of 18. And number two, you have to have an argument for why God exists. And if you can bring that, then we can have a fruitful, good faith, progressive, linear, dialectical discourse together. But simple as that.
Say that 5 times fast.
No.
Progressive linear, progressive dialectical discourse, progressive linear dialectical discourse, progressive linear dialectical discourse, progressive linear dialectical discourse, progressive linear dialectical discourse. I was the original person to make that up, by the way. It was me. It was all my idea.
It was me,
I looked
Barry.
TK up.
You invented discourse? That's crazy.
No, I invented the saying dialectical, like
You invented
good faith
discourse?
linear. No, okay.
Thank
I
you, by the
invented-
way.
Bro
Can I
invented.
get an autograph?
John, pay attention. Stop tracking. Stop not
Can I get
tracking.
an
We got someone in the
autograph?
guest request.
Yeah, let him up.
What's up, TJ?
How old are you?
What?
How old are you?
Nah, bro, I'm 14. My bad, man. You can't.
Oh my
yeah,
fucking
okay.
God. Bro probably could have just bullshitted his way through, too.
At least he's honest,
Yeah.
and that's like honesty's a virtue, to be honest.
Keeping it A100. Do you actually want to know the answer to your question?
Whose question?
Wait, we got a new guest coming up. New guest.
What's up, Sensei?
Hey, Sensei, how old are you?
14.
Yeah, bring it up.
Premise one is
I'm
cancer.
sorry, you can't come up.
That's okay. We can never allow you up again. You should have not.
That's MK.
Bro, he's like 18. I don't know why you lied.
Run away, coward.
This nigga's bad, SMK. You fucking.
Is John a theist or an atheist?
He's an atheist. He's
Dumb
a
fuck. Am I
atheist.
talking to you? Why are you saying
Yes. We're the same. We're the same. We have the same ontological status.
Yes, sir.
He's an atheist, whatever it's called.
We're
Oh, so you're like a dunder-headed booger-eating cave dweller? Like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, he's an
It
atheist.
doesn't even begin to describe it.
Oh, is this fucking the guy with the plant shooter?
No,
PhD?
no,
Lime?
that's a different guy.
Lime?
No, Lime's a different guy.
John,
This is our
speak.
friend Avery.
John,
What's up?
speak. Oh,
That's
no, you're
Avery.
talking
That's not
about
fucking Lime. He's like, he has a deeper voice than mine.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, we're the theist.
Fanto is a theist.
No, shut the
Dude, Fanto's actually a pantheist.
I'm a naturalist, so therefore I'm a pantheist. Therefore,
What's
No, he's a pandeist.
Oh, you said deist.
Yeah, pandeist. He is a pandeist. SMK, go get
Also, how is witchcraft real and God and demons, but God is not? I've got news for you.
it. Is anyone gonna tell him?
Wait,
Those
if
no.
horoscope's real, how come God not real?
Oh, horoscopes those aren't real.
You're such an Aries.
Premise 1. If horoscopes aren't real,
Hey, Alico, it's nice to see you.
Alico, please come on up, Alico, please. I forgot to ping you.
He said
Alico said to
he
ping
said
you.
he can't.
Oh damn.
He said he's studying for a final. Hopefully you
Damn.
can pass your final, bro.
Alico, don't worry. I'll slide you a little note.
Yo,
with,
if you
like,
come
all the
up, we
cheat
can
codes.
prove he's not real.
I look you
No.
haven't studied since like middle
I
school.
have a feeling he's
Who
Christian.
studies?
So yeah, we can prove he's not
Yeah,
real.
Like,
it's-
do
Armand,
people
come on
actually
up.
study?
Armand,
Dude,
come on up
I've,
and we'll
bro,
disprove him.
I've never studied in my life, bro. I've never studied in my
Why are
life.
theists so obsessed with saying prove he isn't real? Like, how dumb are you guys on average? Like, holy shit. These are just so silly.
I think I'm gonna do a Birdu shift.
I think I can't prove
Like
God.
E4 in chess, it's the most common move.
Who wants to give an argument for disjunctive luminosity?
Do you want to?
Nobody?
What is disjunctive
I don't know what the
luminosity?
fuck that is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Wait, who said that?
Oh, Sensei
Yeah.
did.
Oh, I thought someone said it in the comments.
Hey, Armando, instead of talking shit, you should come up and try to have like an actual conversation, like an adult.
SMK, did Eric ever amp you on quasi realism?
No, he'd know I just dismantled his argument in mere seconds, so he was too scared to send it. Once my Taco Bell gets here, I am out of here.
Weave the
just know.
rhetorical
You
web.
need to be absolutely certain to claim that you know something, Armand.
Armand, what do you mean by no there?
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about fallibilism?
Pretty
Um,
peak.
It's alright. Yeah, I like it.
I think mathematical truths are unfallible, though.
Yeah,
Or
I think fabulism only accounts for like a posteriori knowledge, not a priori knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we
I
got.
I was looking,
Oh
I
wait,
was
that's
looking
Evil
into
Dakota.
fallibilism. I was looking into fallibilism.
Wait, don't evil
and-
Dakota. No.
And originally, I thought it was just the
John's
idea that we
fucking
didn't like need
Huh?
certain knowledge. Like, sorry.
Wait, just to be clear, I'm gonna call valid inference John, and I'm gonna call John J, so there's no confusion. But
No,
John's
call
terrified of
John J.
evil Dakota.
Avery. Just call John J. Avery.
Yeah, just call me
I'll
Avery,
call. All right, I got you.
if you can remember that.
Not evil Dakota. Who is that?
Okay, wait. I'm gonna bring a
Oh no,
guest.
that's my friend. That's Penny. Do you know who Penny is?
No.
Oh no,
Thank
it
you.
was a joke. It was a joke. Like Evil Dakota up. It was a prank. Bring Evil Dakota up.
You Dakota.
Keeping
so
it
handsome.
keeping it 100. Do you have an argument this time?
I heard her talk about fabulism. Yo,
Yes.
Yeah.
is anybody like unfallibilist?
Only on mathematical truths. Yeah.
Mathematical truths?
Only on a priori knowledge.
So when you say a mathematical truth, are you just saying that like 2 + 2 = 4? You take it that that's
Yeah.
like not fallible?
Yeah.
Well, how do you take it that we came up with the system to begin with?
I don't think that matters to deduce if it's
That,
going to be infallible or
that
fallible.
definitely does matter, right? Like to say that, you know, what is it? Like, to say something's 100% proven in the first place, right? And no possible world could it be false. You agree with that premise, right?
Wait, I'm not too sure. When we just say like fallibilism, if you just say proven to be like some amount of knowledge, then
Like,
yeah.
Well, no, that's not what fallibilism means, right? Like, what I take fallibilism to mean, what I take fallibilism to mean is just that we know something exists. Well, not me. We don't know something exists specifically 100% in the sense that it can be proven with 100% certainty. So, so take it that I have any proposition and I display it, right, and say that I can justify this proposition being true, right? Like that just means that I can prove this proposition being true 100%.
This is
Why
That's
does
literally
it
what
you have
talk
100%
about
knowledge on any
is-
given thing?
Is
fault.
my
I mean,
original, my
I need an
original
argument for that.
conception of fallibilism was that not everything had to have like 100% confidence in that knowledge to quote unquote have knowledge. And then I read a little more and found out that it's like the idea that everything works that way, and I was a little more skeptical of it.
But you don't have to be so
I'm
I
like
think- I think
I'm like a
everything
fabulist, right? Like I take it that like when you say that you can prove something with 100% certainty of it being true, I don't take it that that's true because I take it
Yeah,
that
I don't- I
there
agree,
can
I
be some
agree.
possibility where it's false.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think any like mathematical statement there's any possibility of it being false? That's just like silly.
No, it's not silly. Like a fallibilist would definitely say that, right? Like it's not silly because that's just upholded by the position, right? The position says that well, for we can't know 100% we can't know 100% that a mathematical truth is actually truthful with 100% certainty, but we have high priors in saying that this is true.
Yes.
Right? It's completely different.
Well, it just depends what we mean by truthfulness there, because obviously I'm not some like fucking mathematical realist, so obviously it doesn't correspond with reality. I just mean it's true in the sense that it's analytically true, which is obviously just necessarily true.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can say something's analytically true, and it being like false in some other possible world, right? Like I take it that when you say something's 100% justified, I don't take it that like
You think
So-
something could be necessarily true but false in a possible world?
I don't
just
think that I don't take it
false.
that it's I don't take it that it's necessarily true in the sense that you're using it, right? Like what I take it that when you say necessarily true, you're just saying, well, it's necessarily true given this world, right? And that'd be true.
Well, I think any mathematical truth is necessarily true in all possible worlds.
All right, so you don't think that we can conceive of some mathematical truth like 2 + 2 = 5 in some other possible world?
No, that would literally just be like contradictory in some sense.
All right,
or,
look
like,
at-
analytically false.
I think math as a concept could not exist in possible world. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't
So
even
like,
think that math is like
so
a knowledge beyond.
let's say we have like some possible world that exists, right? And we have this possible world. This is a possible world. This is labeled as P. And this P implies 2 + 2 = 5. Right now, you're saying that this proposition here is false, right?
Yeah, I'm
Because
just
this is
saying there isn't
analytic.
gonna
This
be
is
any-
analytically false, right?
Yeah, I'm saying there's no possible world where it's going to be the case 2 + 2 = 5. Yeah.
Okay. The reason why this analytically is false is what? What's the reason why this is analytically false?
Yeah, just because the definitions don't align. Like, obviously, it's just going to be the case.
Okay. So
or is
you
only
say definition.
what the
When
terms-
you say definition, what term specifically are you defining?
I'm choosing some like intuitive definition for 2 and plus and equals and 4.
Okay. So for all that equals just 4, right?
Wait, what'd you say?
So for all of the definitions that are used, that equals 4, right?
Yeah, 2 + 2 = 4. Yeah.
Yeah, so the problem with that is just that definitions aren't necessarily true, right? So, in some other possible worlds, we can just define the term differently, right? So, let's say, let's say this, right? Let's say, in some other possible world, 2 + 2 = 4 is 2 + 2 = 5, and that's just how we use the term. But it is still true, like in like our possible world, 2 + 2 = 5 there is the same as 2 + 2 = 4, right? It's just that we use the terms differently. So it sounds weird at first and
But it's
doesn't
the
sound
same
weird.
abstraction.
It's the same abstraction. Yeah.
Well, the issue is just going to be if you change the definition of the word, you're just going to be referring to a whole different entity at that point. Like,
But we could change the syntax, right?
No,
Like-
no. Because we just said like
And the live ends. and it ceases to exist.